Hey everybody, welcome back to Crochet Vlogs. Lost in time, reading whatever the heck, I don't know, I'm awkward and... Let's just get it done. We are at chapter 22, The Winter's Formal Dance. What's funny is, obviously I wrote this as a teenager, right? Never got invited to a dance other than like a church thing, and those weren't really the real deal. Never got invited to a school dance. Kind of felt sad, at the time, and I don't know, now as an adult, yeah, who cares? Who cares? Not really that big into dances, not really, whatever. I don't know. They always seemed like cool in the movies and stuff, but in real life I'm like, it's probably best I didn't. Oh gosh. Anyway, yeah. So just bear that in mind if anything's kind of not realistic. Let's be honest, it's a fantasy book, so yeah, I take that cop out and I run. But anyway, so the project, I hope and pray I will get done weaving in all those loose ends, because I have not had a lot of energy or time to crochet, and I've got some projects that I need to finish up, so that being one of them. So we're just going to be knocking those out for the remainder of this series, which it is, what, 5 or 7 parts? Something like that. Anywho. But yeah, so we are on chapter 22. I hope everybody is having a great week. I don't really have anything else to say, so yeah, let's do it. So previously on, Eileen, who is Eli's godmother / kind of sort of aunt, best friend, came back to town. Now Eileen is, or was, Eli's father's best friend. They were roughly the same age, so on and so forth. Really good friends, and Eileen's just pretty much been in Eli's life for ever since she was born, pretty much. So yeah, that was a really big thing for Eli, and it was a very good thing too, so she's got a little bit more support. Blake and Clover kind of basically made Dimitri make this video, like, apology. I bit the tip of my tongue. Thankfully it wasn't too bad. Whew, could have been bad. Made them make this video apology, and he asked her to winter formal, which is a thing that the school's putting on, because it is kind of a all-in-one school. It's a college, it's a grade school, it's a high school, it's an all-in-one. So they have school dances. Yeah, Eli accepted, because Eileen basically made her, and now we're here. So yeah, let's get into it. It felt like deja vu, staring at myself in a floor-length mirror, except this time it was a different date and a different dress. A prom dress, essentially, even if a winter formal wasn't exactly prom. Or was it? I never went to prom. Never even really thought about it, but now that I was about to go on my first dance with a guy I kind of liked, even if our history was rocky, I was excited and nervous. I looked so different. In a good way, but still. What if you didn't like it? Don't be stupid. You look amazing. Smiling softly, my fingertips touched my reflection, in the mirror. My hair was in loose brunette curls, tumbling over my shoulders and down my back. Very light makeup accenting my unique eyes, making the blue almost glow and the green sparkle. Eileen, Rosa, and I had spent the last 2 days searching for the right dress, a rite of passage I didn't want to participate in ever again. Oh, neither would I, really. I just got texted. Give me a moment. What is going on? Okay. So many dresses. No, just No. But even I freely admitted that when we found this dress, it was perfect. It fit like a glove, and I was in love with the sweetheart neckline, a thin strip of shimmery white jewels, outlining both the neckline and the straps. I didn't have enough confidence for the nose straps, no matter how much begging Eileen, and yes, even Rosa did. But none of that mattered now. Oh God, it never ends. The gray silvery fabric gathered at the waist, little deliberate wrinkles over the stomach so it wasn't so smooth, with a single silver flower pendant with the white jewels on the waist to the side. The fabric then let out just a little bit until it met just above the floor, my matching heels just tall enough to keep the fabric a few inches off the ground, thank goodness. All in all, I was stunned at what I looked like tonight. I just hoped Dim would be too. So, I did a little bit of research and just found like a cool dress online that I liked and that Eli, I felt like fit Eli. And then I just described that. Because as a writer, your Google history looks so weird. Yeah. Behind me, Rosa sniffled, and even Eileen, the woman who just hauled me to my feet when I broke my collarbone and told me to go get my dad so he would take me to the hospital. I was 9. Even had shiny eyes. I met her eyes in the mirror and narrowed my eyes. Seriously, Rosa, I can get, but Lean, really? You don't cry for anything, much less a stupid dance. She scoffed, and Rosa dabbed at her tears, shaking her head at our antics. Lean smirked. What, am I not allowed to shed a few tears when my goddaughter is off to her first dance with the guy who she had a first date with? This time I scoffed, fighting the little grin on my face as I turned away from the mirror. No, since you don't even tear up to onions. It was true, and it ticked Dad and I off to no end every time we were in the kitchen with her. She giggled, rolling her eyes. Rosa took her time clucking over me, tears rolling down her cheeks. Why was this such an emotional time for parents? All we were doing was going to a dance in a ridiculously expensive dress and sweat off all the makeup and deodorant we spent hours fixing up before we went. It was just one fun night, but it was still just one night. Why the tears? We were coming right back, for goodness sakes. Oh, come on, Rosa, I said softly, smiling as I gave her a hug. I'll be back before you know it. She smiled and nodded, dabbing at her eyes. Deja vu struck again as there was a knock at the door, and the butterflies flew around in my stomach with full force. Lane rushed to answer the door, and there was Tim in all of his tuxedo glory, with a silver tie around his neck. Handsome as always, and such a sweet gentleman, he had a bouquet of pink roses for me and a light blue corsage. A smile curved on my face, while Aline and Rosa swooned in the background. Pop was glaring at the back of Dim's head. Hey, you, he said, holding out the flowers. I took the bouquet and sniffed them before they were snatched out of my hands by Rosa. Lean's hands pushed me out of my room. Gently, Dim slipped the corsage on my left wrist and kissed the top of my head. Head? Hand. That should be hand. Being ever the gentleman, cooed at my flaming cheeks. Then we made a quick escape, as this time I didn't even look at Pop to see if I had a curfew. Tonight, I was going to have fun. I remembered how we almost kissed, and a small, bigger than small part of me hoped tonight we actually would have our first kiss. Preferably not in front of the door, though. I think we both learned our lesson on that one. He grabbed my hand, swinging our joined hands as we walked towards the grand hall where the dance was being held, and it felt like our date again before everything got so weird and awkward. Just comfortable silence, and I relished it. So, is Lean like your aunt or something? She seems nice. He was clearly fumbling with words, and I laughed, bumping him with my shoulder. She's my godmother, the closest thing to an aunt I have. She's like my big sister and my best friend. She's scarier than Pop, so be glad it was Pop working you over, not her. He looked at me sideways, startled, with a spark of fear in his eye. Really? I nodded solemnly as the loud music and lights got louder. The large doorway opened to people to mingle through. Yeah, when she gets going, everyone runs for the hills. We shared a laugh before entering the place, and immediately I was in awe with how gorgeous everything was. The huge hall with ornate pillars holding the arched dome roof up had been transformed into a winter wonderland. Fake white snow falling from the ceiling, silver snowflakes decorating the back of the light blue seating. There were games and a photo booth on the left side of the hall, and buffet tables, seating tables, even a bar. A large dance floor was situated in the middle, and a huge stage set up with a DJ blasting music. It was awesome and already filled with couples dancing and mingling. "Oh wow, this is going to be awesome!" I yelled over the music. Then the DJ put on Counting Stars, and whether or not Dim wanted to, we were going to dance. Thankfully, he followed me easily, and we elbowed our way through the crowd of people on the dance floor, getting closer to the DJ. It was just like that Halloween night, but it was just us, and everything else melted away. He twirled me round and round, both of us laughing, doing the chicken dance when the song came on. We were just having a great time. I didn't miss the way his eyes darkened when he looked at me, giving my dress a long once over, how he always found an excuse to hold my hands or have his arms around me. I didn't mind. I enjoyed it, in fact. We decided to take a little break a while later, both of us sweaty but grinning elatedly, as we practically braced each other to the refreshments table, going straight for the punch. He checked it, making sure it wasn't spiked with a spell I hadn't heard of before, then he downed his, so I did too. He stocked a plate full of chips and junk food, little sandwiches, things like that, while I ransacked the dessert table. We met at a table and ate off of each other's plates, laughing at some of the dresses we saw. I mean, cotton candy pink with glitter and a tutu-like bottom. Why would you do that to yourself? Then we checked our phones, and I groaned when Dim wanted us to take a selfie. "I didn't take you for a selfie, man, Dim." He blushed, scooting closer to me anyway. Taking my revenge, I pinched his cheek and cooed, giggling when he scowled and slapped my hand away. "Shut up, Leah." Such a great comeback. It only made me laugh harder as he pulled me closer to him, his arm protectively over my shoulder. Then we both grinned and made silly faces for the selfies. Yes, selfies. Multiple. One day I was going to get on his phone and see how many selfies of himself there were. He was just too much of a professional at it not to have a billion. He shot 20 of us. 20. But I had to admit they were cute. We made a cute couple of friends or something more. Because we weren't even official or anything. Why am I disappointed? In the middle of my train of thought, Dim had brought me to my feet and guided me over to the games area. "I'm going to win you a giant stuffed bear and make you swoon at my athletic prowess," he announced, grinning wildly. I bit my lip, trying really hard not to laugh, and damage his ego, even if it could take it. Oh my god. Oh, my main male character in my other book series has some very funny, very, very funny banter in my head right now. Oh, Dimitri, you would be ruined. Teenagers being teenagers. Problem is, I'm not a teenager anymore. Swoon over my athletic prowess? Alright, let's see how you hold up, hotshot, I said, gesturing at the games. This was going to be entertaining, I was sure of it. I almost didn't want him to win, though, because I was sure he was going to give me the biggest teddy bear he could, and there was a giant, fuzzy, pink one that was bigger than me, literally. I'm going home with that one, aren't I? As I held Dimitri's blazer, I watched him stretch and flex his muscles. Oh my god. I I enjoyed the view, laughing at how obvious he was about it, and I knew the answer. Yep. For the next 10 minutes, I watched as Dim paid for his turns at every single little carnival game, winning the majority of them flawlessly. It was actually rather impressive. I wasn't the only girl watching him, some of them ogling shamelessly while I amusedly watched them. A few jealous glares were sent my way when the poor teddy bear attendant stumbled and fell, giving me the giant pink monstrosity. Dim smirked charmingly, which I didn't think was possible, and managed to carry it for me, setting it down beside the table we had just kind of claimed as ours. I got us some punch and we sat down again. So, but you're pretty proud of me, huh? Amused, I shook my head at his boasts. Yeah, catching a plastic fish on a kid's fishing pole is so impressive, Dimitri! His face fell, and then he just put his nose up in the air. Hey, if you want one of those, parch, I can catch one of those too, he said it quickly, and I nearly spit out my punch. The name of the fish is perch, dummy, and you are too much of a city boy. Can't get your hands slimy. He glared at me, scowling. I am not a city boy. How long have you spent outdoors? Have you even slept outside under the stars before? He struggled to rise to my challenge. Yes! Your backyard doesn't count. Then no. Snickering, I threw a random chip at him from my snack plate. Oh, you so need an education, city boy. That is so not going to be my new nickname, Leah. Sure it is, city boy Dim. Has a certain ring to it, don't you think? No, yes. No, yes. He didn't respond, jutting his bottom lip out in a pout, crossing his arms stubbornly and turning away. But I knew he was joking. I sighed dramatically, then stood up, walking behind him to wrap my arms around his shoulders. Oh, come on. You know it's cute. Murmuring in his ear and kissing his cheek, I could feel him soften slightly. Now, how about you show me some... Sorry, I can't talk today. Now, how about you show me those city moves with a slow dance, Dim? Please. Another kiss. Hook, line, and sinker. I caught me a city boy, and I couldn't be happier. We are going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Can anyone guess what's coming next? In no time, we were out on the dance floor, and I didn't even hear the slow song they were playing. All I could see was Dim. Just the two of us out on the edge of the crowd as I slowly wound my hands on the back of his neck. His hands round my waist, pulling me closer. No fancy moves, just small little circles, staring at each other, lost in our own little world. It was perfect. He smiled at me slightly, his Adam's apple bobbing as he swallowed, his eyes moving lower than mine before snapping back up. He licked his lips, and I bit mine, both of us leaning in slightly, and I closed my eyes. Then the Star Wars theme began ringing from his pocket. His phone. His phone blocked us from... Oh. I was just a bit miffed. It was perfect. We were going to kiss and the... I cannot catch a break. And we're going down. He cursed, breaking away from me as he rushed to answer the phone. Hello? Dad? What's wrong? Wait. Slow down. Mom is what? Pure worry poured out of his voice, and I looked at him, wondering what was going on. Yeah, I'll be there soon. I'm going now. He hung up, then looked at me guiltily, distraught. Leah, I'm so sorry, but I put my finger to his lips, reached up on my tiptoes and kissed his cheek, squeezing his hand before stepping back and letting him go. Go on, I forgive you. Just go. Make sure everything's alright. Text or call when you can. I respected his privacy and his family enough not to question or make a big deal out of anything, and I had been in his situation before. He smiled at me, his eyes shiny as he ran out on me, muttering a quick thanks before leaving. Then I was alone at a dance, and it wasn't so much fun anymore. I slowly made my way back to our deserted table, the big pink teddy bear still propped up on the chair. I sighed, sitting down and propping my head in my hands. I checked my phone, hoping for something to keep me busy. I didn't want to go back just yet, not at 9:45. Lena and Rosa would be there, as would Pop, and I didn't feel like getting interrogated just yet. So, this right here is like the second or first. No, this is the first scene. This is the scene. This is the scene that inspired this entire series and inspired this book. I'm so happy. I hope it's as good as I remember. Okay. What a hideously tacky bear. I would burn it before it ever graced my home's shadow. Dracula's smooth voice whispered into my ear, and I jumped, dropping my phone on the table in shock. Placing my hand over my heart, I took a breath and looked at the vampire who took a seat beside me. Common courtesy dictates you should let the lady know you are behind her before she can make a fool of herself being frightened. He laughed, drawing attention of some nearby chaperones who took a seat at a table nearby. Great. Ah, yes. But then your heart wouldn't be pumping so quickly, now, would it? My mouth went dry, so I took a sip of my punch. Now, my lord, I am sure you wouldn't have placed yourself in such a compromising position if you hadn't already fed tonight, would you? I whispered, doing my best not to look him in the eye. There was something different about him tonight, something akin to what he had been in the past. It didn't bode well for me, I was sure. I always have room for a snack, little dove. His voice sent chills down my spine, which I just barely repressed. I didn't know how to respond. Our relationship, for lack of a better term, had always been mysteriously rocky at best, but now with the blood oath, I wasn't sure where we stood. Would he kill me as soon as I gave it to him? Did he expect me to have it on me tonight? Right now? Or did he want me to go retrieve it tonight? With one final dirty look at the bear, the gloriously handsome vampire took my hand in his large pale one and kissed the top of it gently. His blood-red lips almost glowing on his face with the ambient lighting around. It did nothing to help with my stuttering heartbeat, filled with fear and doubt. Let us dance, dove. I had no say in the matter. We were up from the table and on the dance floor. I put my hand in his outstretched one, curling my shaking fingers around his firmly. With my other hand on his shoulder, his free one down gently yet firmly on my waist, we began to dance. It wasn't a nice dance, filled with love like Dim and I's had been. No, this one was filled with power, danger. Dracula met my nervous gaze, challenging me to look away from those black, fathomless eyes. They say he had no soul. I always said it was just empty, hollow. But looking into those eyes, I found it difficult to believe he had a soul. How could ice be so black and cold? It was terrifying. The dance was rough, Dracula leading my every step with a gentle iron grip, twirling me around fast, yet somehow making it sensuous. It was confusing, this game we played, but I couldn't lose, not knowing the stakes. Never play games with vampires, Eli. They are worlds of trouble. Oh, if only Pop knew. It was fate that Dracula and I were bound, and I had no choice. The song rose a tempo, and in the final seconds of the dance, Dracula spun me into a deep dip, my hair falling away from me, hanging loosely as he lavishly bent over, kissing my neck softly, leaving no traceable mark, yet my neck burnt as if touched by ice for a long period of time. It hurt, yet was numb. I couldn't feel a thing, having difficulty moving my head as he brought me back up, now leading me back to the table. I always have room for a snack, I remembered faintly, feeling stupid. He had just bit me. I felt like I wanted to throw up. That sneaky vampire. They weren't supposed to bite without permission. But this was Dracula. Without even knowing it, he had always had a claim on me. A blood oath. Dracula sat down next to me, pushing a plate of food and punch, sweet cookies and other things for a sweet tooth like me to savor, for me to eat. No. What if he tampered with them? Thoughts hazy. I tried focusing, but then the punch was in my hands. Dracula's eyes on mine as he smiled softly, sending danger alerts down my spine, prompting me to drink. Don't. Something was wrong with me, and I couldn't connect my brain to my movements. I ended up downing the entire thing, then eating a cookie, then another, and another, until the plate was gone. The frosting had tasted funny, and the punch had had a coppery taste to it. What had I done? I wanted to sleep. Where was my bed? This dress. Was I in a dress? It was icky with wet sweat clinging to me like a glove. Why was I sweating? The noises. So much music and loud people. It was all too much. What did you do? He didn't drug me, did he? He laughed, taking my elbow and gently bringing me to my feet as he snatched the big fluffy teddy bear. Oh, it's so comfy looking. Is that my bed? Spots were dancing around my vision, and we were outside, and for the first time in a few minutes, my head cleared up a bit, and I took a deep breath, blinking rapidly. You bit me, and that punch. You put blood on my cookies, didn't you? I accused, pointing a finger at his 3 faces. Wait, 3? And in the punch as well, he said calmly, leading me down the sidewalk. Just blood, though. You'll feel like you have a hangover tomorrow morning, but it's necessary. Now, he began, stopping by the door of the dorm building. Call my name within this next week to settle the debt. Be it anywhere, anytime, I will come to you. Now go rest, my little dove. He kissed my cheek, just a kiss this time. Then with a whisper of the wind, racing my curls, he was gone, my giant teddy bear propped up on the doorstep. It was as if he hadn't been there at all. Except I knew that he was. Now, how was I supposed to climb 4 sets of stairs with double vision? Dun dun dun. Okay, that was chapter 22. Oh man, I have to say, I do like that scene. Is it bad that I feel like I could write it better now? Then again, I do feel like I could write literally everything in this better. But man, yeah, that was a good scene. Okay, I'll make cookies for the recording for a minute. I will be done in 5 minutes. Dang it, my mom walked in. She wants cookies, which is fine because I also want cookies and they're not going to have blood on them. Okay, so, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Then again, I really do like Dracula, so, so again, that scene, I wrote that to, Lord's Everybody Wants to Rule the World, and, that song is what inspired this scene, that scene, in the entire book, really. So yeah. Ooh. So Dimitri gets called away. Dracula's right there. Was he there watching the entire time? Did he just take the chance? Did he have something to do with Dimitri? Who knows, who knows, who knows? Only now, Dracula knows, Eli knows, he's wants that button. He wants that button. She has a debt she needs to pay. One that is several thousand years old. And he's gonna have it. She's got a week. What is Eli gonna do? She's also been bit by vampires, so and blood. He bit her. She took some of his blood. There's a little bit more of a blood bond, a blood tie, if you will, and it's all over a button, which I will never think is, not funny, because it's hilarious to me. Anyway, that is it. Hopefully I got all those ends woven in. And if I did, then I probably am just going to start the next thing, but I don't know if I did, so, hey. But yeah, so that is chapter 22. Next week, we will read chapter 23, Hollow Eyes. Dun dun dun. Anyway, let me know what you think. If anyone listens to this, I don't know. I'm trying really hard not to sweat it. I'm cautiously writing again, so I'm trying really hard to, keep that cautious confidence and still share and stuff, It's hard, but at least I'm writing again, which is good. I'm enjoying it, which is good. Eli did not enjoy that dance. She did not enjoy that. Thank you so much, Dracula. I did though, so let me know what you think. You don't have to, obviously, but yeah. So, have a great week, everybody. I will see you all next week for Hollow Eyes and what I hope is going to be the new project, because I am really freaking tired of this autumn moon hanging thing, because the amount of loose ends has utterly driven me mad.